Good morning. What kind of good morning? So I've been wanting to make this video for a couple weeks now, and life has just gotten so damn busy I haven't had time to do it. And every time I go to start it, a child needs something, an animal needs something, and or a client needs something, and so I haven't had time to do it. So my apologies. Today I want to talk to you guys about something that we can all relate to, and that is family dysfunction. Yay! I had an ex-in-law of mine used to say, show me a family that is normal, and I will show you a family that does not exist. And I thought, what a brilliant way to put it, because it's so true. There's no such thing as normal, and we create our normal. But dysfunction is something, by definition, that is not functioning properly. And as I see it, and as I've experienced it, I'm hoping that I can articulate this in a way that maybe it's something you can relate to, maybe it's something that you can sort of put in your pipe and smoke and see how you feel about it, and go from there. But family dysfunction is, I guess the good news I have is I kind of see it like, it's like a play, right? Every actor has their part. Right? There's staging, there's the lines you have to say, the characters, and when you see your family as dysfunctional, chances are you're not fitting into it, otherwise you wouldn't see it. Otherwise it would be a seamless, invisible thing that is just part of how your family is created. But once you see it as dysfunction and you want out of it, here's a couple tips that I've learned. 1, stop playing your role. Stop saying your lines. Don't stand on your mark. Do not play your role. And if you don't play your role in the dysfunction, then none of it is going to work. The other actors in the play will not be able to sustain the storyline without you playing your part. Maybe your part is being an enabler. Maybe your part is being a victim. Maybe your part is being an instigator. Who knows? Who knows? There's 1,010,000 different levels and severities of all kinds of dysfunction, but we each play a part in it. So first tip, don't play a part. See what happens. See if it crumbles. See if it survives, and go from there. The second thing I've learned, and this is something that's been very challenging to deal with, is that there are people that are inherently toxic. Now, that's not new news to anybody, right? We all know people that are just inherently toxic, correct? However, it gets tricky when we share DNA with those people, because there's this bizarre delusion in our society that blood is thicker than water and family is family. Okay, great, but does that mean that you have the right to emotionally abuse me? No, it doesn't. Does that mean that you have the right to treat me however you want to treat me because we share DNA? Nope. And that's new information to a lot of people. Because, I mean, think about it. All your life you've heard, yeah, but he's family. Yeah, but she's family. But it's your mom. You only get one dad. Okay, great, but guess what? You're not going to disrespect me. And many people think that sharing DNA gives you a license to disrespect one another, because that's just how we act, and that's how we treat one another. Well, I'm going to call bullshit on that. You don't have to be treated in an unkind way. The most difficult thing to do is to create distance between ourselves and people that are deemed family, who we think are toxic to our souls and toxic to ourselves. Because it flies in the face of what society says we should hold in our priorities, that family should be the most important thing. You can define family however you want. You know, family has nothing to do with DNA. My husband is family by choice, because I choose to be part of this family. My children and I do not share DNA, but they are more family to me than anybody in the entire universe. And that is my family. And, I'm missing something here. Oh, that's the one car that just drove by. Shut up there, John. It's a country road, and there's not many cars that come by. But once in a while, a car comes by, and you just missed it. How cool is that? Oh, okay. So here's the other thought. So let's say you're in a dysfunctional situation, and you're like, well, I want to keep this person in my life. They're not inherently toxic. They're just dysfunctional, and it gets on my damn nerves. So, Daniel, what the hell do I do about that? Well, I'll tell you what. Here's my 2 cents on that. Acceptance. Now that's a tricky word. I'm not talking about your stereotypical AA acceptance. I'm talking about the kind of acceptance where you stop living in a delusional world where you expect this person to behave in a way that they've never behaved. Let me explain what I mean by that. I've heard many people over the years talk to me about things like, oh, well, my son is he's 30 years old, and he's a drug addict, and he doesn't have custody of his kids, and he just won't get his shit together, and he won't do this, and he's not doing that, and he won't say this, and he won't say that. And they describe this long drama-filled story of this years of this pervasive pattern this person has in their life. And each time this son or whomever it is falls flat on his face and does the same thing he's done for years, the person who's connected to him is blindsided. Oh my God, he's done it again. So here's what I think about that. If that's you, then you are expecting this son, whomever he is, to behave in a way that he hasn't behaved in years. So my question to you is, what would happen? What would happen if you said to yourself, you know what? I don't have to like it. I don't have to understand it, but that's the road he's on right now. That's who he is. That's how he moves around the world. And whatever shoe drops next, I'm not going to be blindsided by it because I kind of know what's coming. And you accept him for where he's at. It doesn't mean you agree with it. And that's the other tricky part. I think that so many people think, oh, my cameraman has a bee buzzing around his camera, so if it's getting shaky, that's why. Did you get the bee away?
Yeah.
That pesky little critter, isn't it? Good Lord.
Yeah. Oh, God. That thing is going to attack me.
It's not going to attack you. Okay, are we back on focus here, John?
Yeah.
Okay. God damn it, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
I don't know.
Oh, nice. You weren't even listening. My own family doesn't listen to me. So you expect this person to behave in a way that they're not... maybe they're not capable of behaving that way. I have many family members like that for years I beat my head against a wall saying, why do they treat me this way? Why do they do this? And maybe, and this is going to sound kind of weird, but maybe it's not fair for me to expect them to treat me with kindness because they're not capable. Maybe it's not fair for me to expect them to respect me because they're not capable. And if we get to that crossroads, then we make our decisions accordingly. We either choose to be miserable and live in the dysfunction as we define it, or we create our own peace, we create our own boundaries in our life, and maybe those boundaries are geographical. Maybe we go somewhere. Or maybe those boundaries are more emotional, like, I don't know, whatever it is. You define what your boundaries are going to look like. But you have to have some boundaries if you can define toxicity and dysfunction in your families. And I just think that so often we live in states of ill ease because we think we have to. Well, it's family, I can't change it. Well, it's this, well, it's that. Everyone deserves to be happy. And if you can't be happy with the people that are around you in your life, then maybe it's time to choose different people. I don't know, just thinking out loud. But it's taken me a lot of years and hell of a lot of work to maintain peace and quiet in my life. I remember hearing my sister and my father, my mother, in different instances, gossip about other family members and just bitch and bitch and bitch. Well, I can't believe that she, nah, 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 nah. And, after we vent and we get it out, usually that's where it dies off. But these people were like, just all day, non-stop. Wah, 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 wah. And I used to literally get headaches thinking, God, shut the fuck up. Okay, you have this opinion. Okay, you feel this way, but goddamn, is it gonna define your entire existence? I guess that's my question to you. If your family is dysfunctional, does it define you? And if it does, are you happy with that? I think it's never too late to examine where we're at. So that's my challenge to all of my viewers today. Look at your family, look at yourself. Are you happy with it? Is there anything you can change? Is there anything you can't change? I'd love to hear more about it. Until then, I bid you farewell. I thank you for watching. Are you going to back up, John? Because I'm walking towards you. Thank you.